Everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. Entertainment only for those senses that are out there. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Okay, what do I want to have for those that are interested, I do post a lot of stuff on my posts section. Used to be called community back in the old days. So if you click on maighstirtarot or my little moniker in the circle below any video, it'll take you to the main page, and you can see it says, I think, home, videos, about, playlists. The playlist is so out of date, and posts. If you go into post, you'll see a lot of little snippets that I post there put in there quite regularly, news articles, etc. Things that I think you might be interested in. So, in the news today, Bill Gates has come out and pledged $200 billion into the African charity fund that he has to support education and health. Now, the Bill and Melinda Gates fund was very, very instrumental in attempting to wipe out polio. Unfortunately, due to civil wars and conflicts and stuff in a particular area of Africa, they never quite got that last little bit. But my guides did say, I think it was about 2 months ago when the US pulled out of USAID, they did say that the Bill Gates would actually step up. So here it is. And speaking of Bill Gates stepping up, or not even Bill Gates stepping up, things that my guides have said, the Dutch government. I did a reading on it 12 months ago when the election was held. Very much about Geert Wilders, who is the leader of the far right party. Did get the most seats in government, 37 seats, but 76 are required in the Netherlands government to actually form government. So they formed a coalition with 3 other parties. There were 4 parties in total. And it's all fallen apart 12 months later. I actually had to go back and watch that video. If you just put, I think if you put Dutch in there, it'll come up if you're interested. I don't like watching my own videos, but I knew I had read on this and I was like, I'm sure something went wrong. And when I went back and looked at the video, last 4 cards, the outcome cards, were very much the 8 of Swords, so restricted, legally restricted. It was a reading on Geert Wilders, so yes, he was very much restricted in what he wanted to achieve. The 4 of Pentacles, desperately trying to hold on, insecurity, trying to hang on to his ideals and not letting any of them go. And then it was the 5 of Cups, loss, disappointment, heartbreak, something falling apart. And then we had the Tower card. And at the time, I couldn't really. I didn't know. I had an inkling of what was coming and I did make a comment on it. But what has happened is the coalition has had a tower moment. So I suspect there's going to be a new, and here we've got the voters and going to the election. On tumultuous seas. So what I want to have a look at is how is the election going to go? So what's happened is the 3 other parties that form that coalition, if I've got that correctly, were all led by women. However, the Prime Minister that was put forward, the 3 other parties, I believe, when I was looking it up, there seemed to be 3 women with the 3 parties. However, the person that was put up as the Prime Minister, so what we have in countries like the Netherlands, they have the King, and then I believe they have the Prime Minister. In Australia, we've got similar, except that our King is King Charles over in the United Kingdom. So, and the Prime Minister is put into the position, voted into the position by the ruling party. So, for example, in Australia, our Labor Party has the most seats in the lower house of government. So, therefore, they elect who their leader is. And they can remove that leader if they prove to be unsatisfactory. So anyhow, the Prime Minister, Dick Schoof, has submitted his resignation to the King. And what's happening is that the government is now in caretaker mode, which means the ministers that were in the government, like the Secretary of State positions and things like that. I'm using that terminology for the US viewers so they get an idea of what I'm talking about. They will continue operating the government, functioning the government until a new election has been called. Okay, so with Geert Wilders, the PPV party, he was very much wanted to close all refugee facilities, wanted to close the borders, very anti-immigration, very anti-Islam. He was after compulsory military service, from what I understand. He's just one of them. Now, speaking about one of them, Fleon, don't you love it? Absolutely come out and lambasted Felon 45 and his big, beautiful tax bill. And of course, Mikey, the little Johnsons now come out and had a go at Fleon, and it's all on, it's all happening. And one of my beautiful viewers reminded me that I had said just over 2 months ago that it would all fall apart within a couple of months. So love it when my guides are right. But sometimes these things take some time to come through, ergo the Netherlands. So I'm using the Smith-Waite Tarot deck. I'm going to have a look at how this is going to play out. In the meantime, a few people have told me that they haven't, apparently Felon 45 hasn't been seen for several days, so I thought I would nip over onto his Untruth Social. You don't have to join to be able to see what he posts. If you just put Donald Trump on Truth Social, hate calling it that, you can actually have a look what he's posted. And I had to chuckle one day ago. Congratulations to my friend Kid Rock, who I call Bob. Like, oh, please. Apparently, he's opened some restaurant in Nashville. He's carrying on about the win in Poland. I watched Marianne from Revealing Light last night. She pretty much backed up. Not backed up, but was aligned with what my guides had said. Her guides did as well. Her cards said as well that this isn't over, and just the usual sort of carry on. He's having a couple of big rants at Rand Paul, who apparently hasn't voted for the stupid bill that's going through. But I want to have a look at what's going to happen with the Netherlands. So let's have a look. Again, 8 minutes a waffle. And yeah, freezing today, 11 degrees is our high today, which is equivalent to about 51 Fahrenheit. I suppose it's just a bracing summer Scottish afternoon with the horizontal rain and 11 degrees Celsius. But for this little Aussie, it's a bit fresh. We're expecting snow on the mountains. Okay, let's have a look. What's the snap election will be called? Who is this? Who is this King of Cups? He's coming out constantly. I know when they reveal who they are, we will know exactly who that. We'll go, oh, duh, there's that King of Cups. So that flung out at me, the King of Cups, the mature diplomatic negotiator, the calm energy, the smooth, mature. So what have we got going on here? I'm just looking at the cards around it. The abuse of power in the government, or is this the win at any cost in the government? Do not tell me that is Geert Wilders, unless he's on an island by himself. I don't know who it is, because then I've got the star of the best of the democracy. So let me put those back again and have a look. In the wake of Polish elections, the going down. I mean, it could be Geert Wilders. Is this in regards to on the island presenting himself as emotionally stable? I wouldn't have said so, but anyhow, let's have a look. Let's have a look. The infighting. It could be. Let me ask. Do I put that as Gert Wilders, leader of the PPV? No, getting the King of Wands. The King of Wands for him. Okay, because the King of Cups is bigger picture, plan coming to fruition, overseas, the infighting. Okay, show me. Show me a snap election. How's it going to go for Gert Wilders? I suspect if the Ukrainian drone attack on the Russian bombers had happened before the Polish voting, it would have been a different story. But come on down, let's have a look. I'm looking for Gert Wilders. Right. Just move that to get the light right. Six of Pentacles. Keeping everything to oneself. Pennies to refugees, which is his attitude, basically. Now who did it that came out? Somebody came out and basically said that Van der Plas, the leader of the BBB party, was angry at Wilders for pulling out and basically said he puts Wilders first, not the Netherlands, which is, yeah, absolutely true. He's about keeping wealthy for the wealthy and pittance for everybody else. He would pull the Netherlands out from supporting Ukraine in a heartbeat. However, on that note, Norway has come forward to aid Ukraine in gas shortages. Spain's cancelled its missile contract with the US. There's a lot happening in Europe at the moment. So, look what's on the bottom. Okay, Gert Wilders. His plan is not coming together like he thought it would. That's his talent. What he thought would happen, having the world in his hand, the oyster, the world is his oyster. It's not working out for him. So, yep, his plan is not coming together how he thought. The energy that he's stewing in at the moment is dark money, plotting in the darkness, trying to formulate something, trying to come together with a plan. I wonder if he's making some promises to some oligarchs. Okay, let's see where this goes. In the past, we've got the delusion, the poor choices. I'm asking about Gert Wilders. Poor integrity, distracted by power and wealth, and in it for Wilders, not for the Netherlands. Yeah, so this is the energy. It's Nigel Farage, Felon 45. It's this energy where it's all about the power and the wealth and the what's in it for me in the past. So how's it going to go? A nightmare situation for him. I haven't asked to see whether he'll be leader, but that on the bottom might be. Yeah, he's having to reassess. And I'd say he's not sleeping, and I'd say he's in a bit of a nightmare situation. The immediate future is there is something that is not yet revealed here, and keeping a lid on the emotions as well. So let's see where this goes. Externally, out in the cold. Okay, Gert Wilders finding himself cast aside. And internally, because he's full of it. Because he's full of it. What he put forward as his platform is really proving to be false. Hopes and fears, the inability to move forward with this plan, with this opportunity, the outcome. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, and finding himself bruised and battered up against the wall. We've got three queens here. Now, the leader of the VVD party, the BBB party, and the NSC party, which were the other three parties, I believe, that were in the coalition with him, were their heads were the heads of those parties were females. So we've got the three females here. He's out in the cold. His lies are exposed. He's unable to move forward with the opportunity, and he's bruised and battered and beaten up. And on the bottom, we've got the Tower moment. This is not going to end well. We've got the Tower. We've got the new journey, or is this literally stepping off the cliff? And then we've got the Hanged Man card. Three major arcana on the bottom. So I think I don't think he's going to get in with this snap election. Tell me, what sort of government will the Netherlands have? Well, I did say 12 months ago that a lot of these countries would have a little bit of a play with the far right, but then find out that it's not what they want. So let me have a look. What sort of government? There's going to be a snap election. What sort of government is the Netherlands going to end up with? Show me. What's the government? So it doesn't look very good for Wilders. Let's have a look. Or old Gert. Let's have a look. Well, I was talking about Gert when these fell out. So we've got here the win at any cost, abuse of power, betrayal, deceit. He is very much, it's an immature energy sweeping at clouds. Oh gosh, you've got, is this something, a lie in the past that's going to be outed, or is this simply that his platform is going to be, take us back to the 50s? Just what century, we're not sure, because here's this steel card and here is his plan, and he's tied. Could be some information coming from overseas, but he's firmly tied to this devil energy. And then we've got the Wheel of Fortune turning for him as unexpected news comes forward. Some sort of announcement is made, information is brought forward that's going to be a harsh truth for him. And it's very possibly to do with money coming from overseas. Oh, and then the Justice card. Okay, things are not looking terribly good for Gert. That's all right. Can't complain at that. But I want to have a look to see what sort of government the Netherlands. It's going to be a snap election. Show me what sort of government is the Netherlands going to end up with. Now, I do understand in that part of the world, there is a real issue with undocumented refugees and migrants coming through. From not so much Ukraine, there are ones from Ukraine, but from further south, Syria, the African nations, the Middle East, these areas where there's just horrific conflict and people are prepared to risk their lives to try and find somewhere safe. So I do understand, but the best way to stop that from happening, or to prevent this sort of undocumented refugee and immigration, is to make things better in the home country. To make things better in the home country. Yeah, nightmare situation. In the Netherlands, or just around the world. We've got hard work going in to bring a victory, some sort of uncomfortable victory. And on the base, we've got the female and the female, but it's going to be burdensome for them. Okay. Next two cards are the Chariot, Temperance, and Tower. There's something, again, I don't know that they're going to have a lot of. What are we looking at? Show me. It's not going to be an easy path. There's going to be a lot of disinformation, so just be aware of that. I'm not talking about the big difference. Misinformation is, oh, whoops, I was wrong. Disinformation is knowing that you're wrong and still saying it. It's a bit like, this is my daughter talking about this morning, cloud seeding. You got a certain element that climate change deniers, so that when we get flooding or excessive storms, apparently it's all the government's fault for cloud seeding. Now that is deliberate lying because it's climate change, but it's easier for them to believe there's some conspiracy by the government to seed clouds and cause flooding than to actually admit that they were wrong about climate change. But let's have a look. Okay. In the wake of this, we've got the full illumination, a new opportunity, and I'm looking at what's on the bottom there, the divine feminine, the wheel of fortune. What else do we have here? We had the back up against the wall, the infighting. Whoever this is it the king of the Netherlands? And then having to defend the position that they take. But I do like this, the new opportunity with the divine feminine in this changing world in the wake of the fallout. Okay, I'm feeling, and then we've got the Empress, an offer, women coming together, supporting each other, new beginning, new beginning, new beginning. Is this with a Russian ceasefire, or is this just simply there is enough for all, and what female leaders are going to offer is going to be worthy? Now, as I said, I went back and looked at that reading from last year, and one of the big points that my guides kept saying was that the progressives need to have a message that people can get their teeth into. Okay. I mean, it's easy for the right. They're based on fear. They're based on division, etc. It's harder to sell a progressive idea. I think they're going to do it. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm being told it's too early. Wait till the elections call because the energies are still raw. But I am getting the 3 women. So I wonder if, let me ask Pendulum. I haven't had Pendulum out for ages. Let's have a look. Even though it's really early now, for those that are new, it's a amethyst that's been with me for nearly 30 years, some wire from the craft shop, and a chain from my drawer. And the reason why I have you like this is so you can see that it's me not waggling away. Round and round means it's ready for a question, back and forth towards me for my pendulum and me. You need to train your own pendulums. Is a yes, side to side is a no, and angle to angle is sort of kind of maybe whatever. So that's how I've got the chain. Let's have a look. Round and round it's ready. Are the 3 female-led parties in the Netherlands going to form a coalition? Yeah, that was my gut instinct. That's a yes. So I think what you're going to find is after the snap election, whenever that is, with the energy at the moment, those 3 parties. So, far right, see you later. Okay, let's see how it plays out. Love to you all. Take care.